Dara here in my little studio in Cochrane, Alberta. There are so many things that I wanted to talk about and share today, but one thing that I'm really noticing in my studio lately is this resistance to um, finish up year-long projects that I've committed to. So I don't know if that's about the process itself, like that it gets difficult for me near the end, or the fact that that's a whole year long, that they're all kind of coming up to an end at the same time. Or anyway, I'm kind of exploring what that's about. And that being said, there's quite a bit of activity happening in my studio because I've got all these different projects on the go. And one of the things that I'm trying to separate is I took on this art journaling course that is really fantastic, by the way. It's given by Susie Miller. It's called Unfold, and it's about learning how to art journal, but from the very beginnings, which was so crucial for me because I didn't have a lot of experience in that area and just was so eager to learn. So I'll share a little bit of my beginnings in my art journal for that course, but I'm trying to figure out a way to have a wet section of my studio and a dry section of my studio. It's kind of a tiny space, so I'm not sure if I need to move the wet to maybe the basement or another area. I'll have to see how that goes, but I certainly don't like them so close together because in the making the figures, I do need a lot of dry space to cut up materials and for sewing and so on. And the part that I wanted to talk about was still being immersed in Julie Gibbons' mandala magic. It's just been incredible working through that this year and kind of going through the archetypal stages of the great round of mandalas. And I think, yeah, I'm in stage 10 right now, which is pretty neat. But one book that's helped me a lot with going through that process is this mandala workbook, and it's by Suzanne Fincher, and I like it because she has sections where she kind of summarizes each stage. So sometimes if you need to go back and just get a quick summary of the stage, it's been really helpful. For example, she talks about stage 8 as being how we are functioning in the world, and stage 9 about shifting into the end of September and where we're reaping rewards, so kind of like when the crops are coming in. So that was a really interesting stage to explore. And now we're into a time of letting go, and Julie did a really great ceremony too, where a lot of the participants, we did it at the same time, and so we did a little letting go ceremony, and that really surprised me how powerful it was to be in a group. Even though it's online, it felt really nice to be experiencing it together. And I'd never tried a letting go ceremony before, so it was new and interesting to me. But I will share a little bit where I've been going with it. Julie invites a lot of the work to be in journal making. So this was stage 8, and there was a lot of work on the body and some protection pieces. So when I made my doll, which is the piece that I've added to this year-long project, is to make a mandala spirit doll that's connected to each stage. So this would be stage 8, and I felt that this was very protective of the body. And then I used a little gem here to represent 5 different areas that I wanted to bring protection into my life. So that's how I did that one. But I like how free and fun she became as I created her. And then stage 9, you can tell I haven't made a video in a little while, so there's some stages coming up. I love this one because there's another part to it too. It had a lot more color, but it's all about fruition. And then when I made the figure, there were these big flower petals that came out of the journaling that I did, and then I was just thinking of like abundance of crops, and that's how the flowers came up there. But the colors are just so vibrant. I thought she was really fun to make. And then when we shifted into the letting go one, this was the mandala that she invited us to work on, and it has like a spirit of Kali in it. So I'm kind of still working on that one, but I wanted to show you how I create figures that come out of pages that are inspired. So I like to work off the page, and I like to shift into other art forms. That's like my absolute favorite thing to do. So I'll share more of that one as it finishes up. But another year-long project that I've been part of is these glue book pages that my friends Rachel and Roseanne have been participating in, and it's been such a treat receiving their cards. And I still have a little trouble making them because I'm not so skilled in that area, but I've had some fun with it. And I just wanted to share a couple of pieces of Roseanne's because they're just so gorgeous. This was one I got in September, and hers are so connected to the seasons. That's what I love about getting hers. When I receive it in that month, it really speaks of that month. Like this is October. Isn't that just such gorgeous October flavors? And then I'll share one that I've just been working on that I'm going to send out. So it's feeling kind of wintry, but it's because we're heading into mid-November here, and I'm starting to feel like the cold mornings and scraping the frost off my car. And even though by the end of the day it can be quite warm, like we can go up to 15, 18, but there's still those cold mornings. You can feel the winter coming on, which I don't mind because I have a little more energy in the cooler months. But at the same time, letting go of that nice warm fall is a bit challenging. So the other part that I wanted to share was about the art journaling. So I've been learning how to make backgrounds. So just kind of taking paint and getting it onto the page. So preparing the pages, Susie goes really into detail with that. And then on how to get paint on there, like with credit cards and brushes, to really create a nice background. And then we've been learning a little bit about collaging and how to get it into the pages, so I've been having fun with that. And she's been going into more detail about layering and using bubble wrap and stencils and writing and that kind of thing, so I've got so much more to immerse myself in that. So that's the pieces that I wanted to share with you, and I was interested in hearing a little bit more from you guys about what it's like to get to that part of the process where it's nearing the end, and if it's difficult for you when it's a year-long project, or would it not matter how long it is. For example, I have some classes, the spirit dolls that I create with women, where we mail it to each other. It takes about 7 or 8 months depending how many of us are in the group, and one time we did it in 5, which was really nice. And I was just feeling that was a better sense of time than the full 12-month year, but that could be just me. So I'm interested to hear how you feel about different processes and the time periods on it and that. So thanks so much for being part of the process, and I'll touch base again soon to talk about what's going on in my studio. Thanks so much. Bye.